guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to stay inspired and notified how to wise up and rise up inside of your life. If at the end of the day, you guys enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. What that does is it helps with the algorithm to get out there to more people who need to hear this message that we're going to share with me and Isabel are going to share with you. So with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, I used to be in an 18 years narcissistic abusive relationship. Before I even found out about narcissism, I thought that I was just in a toxic relationship. Like all those other people out there that are in relationships, and they sometimes don't even know, what's toxic, what's not toxic, and they kind of just go with the flow with the relationships. And sometimes you end up being, in a toxic relationship. Like me, I didn't even know that I was in a, narcissist. I didn't even know what narcissism is, but I did know I was in a toxic relationship, right? So I didn't have no resources or anything like that to really tell me, okay, Tracy, yes, this is toxic, that's toxic. I just went with the way how I felt that, yeah, I think it's toxic, but when you love somebody so much, you kind of ignore the red flags. And then when you get out of a relationship, then you still ignore the red flags. And then you find yourself in another toxic relationship, right? Because you're not paying attention to those red flags. So that's kind of like my situation. And what I seen was a pattern and not having and thought, okay, there's no resources. So with that being said, you guys, this is why I'm so glad that I have Isabel on here as my guest, right? She's had her own experiences in toxic relationships, seeing other people in other toxic relationships or experiencing, toxic situations. And she's now came up with this amazing idea. I'll let her explain it. Amazing idea on how to help more people be aware of the signs, be aware of if even they're in a toxic relationship, right? And that's why I'm so super excited to have her honored to have her on here, to do a video with me, to share with you guys, her story, share and allow her to share with you guys, what she's planning to help other people out there, just like you. If you're watching this video and you clicked on it, just like you, on how you can be more aware of toxic signs, if you're in a toxic relationship, and so on. So with that being said, I don't want to give away, all the good information. I'll let Isabel take it away and let her, talk to you guys and let you know who she is. So Isabel, take it away.
Okay, well, thank you, Tracy. So, hi, my name's Izzy or Isabel. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This is great and new for me. So, so first off, I want to tell you what we have. So, I created this app called Exfacts. It's available to download on the Apple App Store and for iPhones only. And you can also find us on TikTok and Instagram at Exfacts Official or on Facebook at Exfacts. So this app is really exciting to me, and it was created to help people make better relationship decisions. And just like Tracy said, relationships are complicated when you're in the fog of everything. Sometimes you don't know, oh, this is toxic, this is narcissistic, this is XYZ. There's something wrong, but you're blinded by the love, you're blinded by the feelings you have. Sometimes you don't notice those signs until, you're deep in the relationship and you wish, damn, I wish I knew that earlier after you're out of it. So that definitely happened to me. And that's the reason why I created this app. So for me, a few years ago, I was dating this guy, and in the beginning, like it usually is, I thought this guy was great. He was so cute. All my friends thought he was cute. It was great. I thought I was in love, and I thought I really wanted to be with this guy and see where it led. But then in a couple of weeks after we started hanging out, we were going to the grocery store. I was going to make dinner, and then he dropped me off, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, Izzy, don't talk to any guys while you're in there." And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just going to the grocery store. And then I looked at him and I laughed, and then I realized he wasn't laughing. He didn't think it was funny. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't really take that as a giant big red flag. I was just like, okay, this is an isolated incident. I'm not sure what this really means. Maybe he's just really in love with me and he's kind of showing that love through being possessive. And I didn't really see it for what it was. So then later on, things kept on escalating and escalating. He would slowly, try to see who I was talking to, always try to be there when I was on the phone, always try to read my text messages, always ask who I was talking to. And then to the point where he even wouldn't want me to go out with my friends or with my family if he wasn't there. And eventually, I started to see the patterns of escalation and see the patterns and think, oh, I don't really want to be in this anymore. So I got out of that relationship, thankfully. And then a couple of years down the road, I met this girl, and just coincidentally, she ended up having dated that guy before I did.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, that was really crazy. I was like, what? Small world.
Yeah.
Town. So but she told me, the same exact thing happened to her. And that made me think of creating this app, because you might think while you're in it, oh, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be talking to other people, in my circumstance, or maybe I'm doing something that, he doesn't like, and maybe that's why he's acting that way. But it's really the pattern,
And it's so crazy, because it's just like, that's with a lot of us, like whether, they're not a narcissist and they're just a toxic, individual that, has this pattern of controlling the relationship, being in control, being possessive, being, aggressive, and saying, you better listen. I'm telling you this, that's what, don't talk to anybody, and then again, being controlling on making sure that you really are not, because of their own insecurities, right? And I think, just like, again, a lot of times we might look at this stuff and be like, oh yeah, but this person, I guess this person really loves me, or they really do care so much about me, because they're so scared they don't want to lose me,
Exactly.
And I know that at one point when I was young, I was gullible like that, I was just like, like, they love me, they care about me. So crazy. It's like, this is teenagers too, like, that are going through this relationship stuff and be like, yeah. And it can even start at that young of an age, and they have no resources, or nowhere to go.
And no blueprint, no blueprint, because after I went through my relationship, I knew a little bit more, okay, this is, if it starts like this and if it goes like this, then it's going to happen like that. But when you have your first relationship or your first serious relationship, you just don't have that blueprint. And so you're stuck questioning yourself, questioning your self-esteem. And that's where it really gets tricky. And that's why we want to really help people with this app, spot the patterns, connect with people, have the resources to help them figure out what to do. So
yeah, and at least you'll have other people who are experiencing similar things that you can ask questions, or you could see. And I think that's it too. I'm just like, sometimes we don't ask ourselves the right questions.
Exactly.
We'll be in exactly what you said. We'll be in our heads and kind of asking, well, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Like, right off the bat, we turn to us. And I think that's because we don't have the right tools. We don't have the right knowledge on to turn around and be like, no, what are the right questions to ask? What should I be asking, instead of me blaming me?
Exactly.
Because it's not always us.
And sometimes there are things you could do. People could do better ourselves, but sometimes it's not us. It's them, it's their patterns, it's their behavior. It doesn't matter if they were with Mother Teresa, they'd still be acting this way. Or, so no matter what we do, no matter what we change, we're not going to change their behavior in some circumstances, if that's just something set in their pattern, their personality type, so there's just, it's difficult.
It's just their pattern. And see, this is why, I personally called, my platform the Rise Up community, because it's through knowledge, and then taking that knowledge and now implementing it, right, is what's going to help you to elevate to better, higher heights, better relationships, better communications with people, all this other stuff. So you guys, again, this is why I, partnered up with Isabel to say, okay, you know what? It's interesting to hear more about her app. It's interesting to hear more about her story, to see, what she's doing to provide knowledge to you guys out there that's going to help you guys to wise up and rise up inside of your life, because that's the only way that you're going to get yourself out of those sticky patterns of those relationships that you keep getting yourself into, is through the knowledge of educating yourself. Okay, what are the signs to be aware of? What are the patterns to be aware of? Is there other people out there that are experiencing similar stuff that, I'm experiencing, right? Because I hear this all the time. It's just like, on your Facebook group, there was somebody who said, there's people that are throwing around narcissistic abuse and narcissism around so much. And I agreed with that person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's true. It's like nowadays, there's so many influencers, there's so many people talking, because it's mental illness and mental health and relationship problems is a really, really big thing going on right now. And there's so many people out there that want to talk about it, but sometimes haven't really experienced it, right? And it's a lot of people out there that are talking about narcissism, but have not experienced it. So right off the bat, it's just like, they're not understanding what they're talking about, right? If you haven't, like, a lot of times, and this is why I wanted you to tell people your story and what you experienced with a toxic relationship, because I believe in this saying, who feels it knows it. That's exactly. Just that simple. Who feels it knows it. The people that are just reading off of a book and this and that, no, who feels it knows it. And that's how you can be so powerful with your app to inspire and help other people, because you've experienced it, right? And again, with that comment, I agreed with that person. Not everybody is a narcissist, right?
Exactly.
But there are people out there that are experiencing toxic behaviors, toxic patterns in relationships, just like you. You didn't experience a narcissist, but you did experience a very controlling, manipulative, relationship.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like, I, with my experiences, I come at from one standpoint. Different people have different experiences. Tracy here experienced a narcissistic relationship. She is a great resource for all those people out there who are going through the same thing. And I believe in her heart, I know it, that she really wants to help people. And that's also what we're trying to do with this app. We're trying to connect people. So that conversation that I had in that bar with that girl, where I met up with her, years after I broke up with this guy, and she before then had gone through the same exact relationship. We want to make that connection with people sooner so that they can get that information on what that person who they're dating has gone through in the past. And, our idea behind it is that, we rate everything. We make so many decisions in our life. We look at Rotten Tomatoes for movies. And, I personally won't ever go watch a movie if it doesn't, sorry, my cat. If it doesn't have like above, 90% rating. And we make if we're getting a credit card, we compare the rates, we make sure we're getting the right credit card. And then, but when it comes to relationships, we let people into our lives, into our hearts, without knowing too much about them. We can look, okay, Google them, see if they got arrested. But some people, for example, a lot of people's boyfriends, it doesn't get to the point where there's a police report on it. They're just a toxic, manipulative, abusive person. And you can't find that on the internet. You can't just Google it. And if you look at someone's social media, I know all my pictures on social media, I look the best I look, and everyone, it's a picture you want to tell of you.
So true.
It's what you allow to show through those filters and through the curated comments on social media. That's not really who you are day to day. And you can get so much more of that picture of what your relationship is going to look like if you talk to that person who had been with them in the past. And some people might say, oh, well, they're an ex, they're going to trash him. They're not going to tell how it really is. He's really different.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And we understand that everyone has a different experience. People change with partners to partners. But my thing is wouldn't you want to just know? So you can look at it. Our idea is that you look at it, you see what that person experienced, and then you say, okay, you know, I still want to date him or I don't want to date him, but you say, you know, I'm still going to give this a shot. But if they point out specific things that happened to them, that were red flags, that were signs that happened, if that happens to you, you might think to yourself, oh, that's not just me. That happened to other people. Maybe I want to get out before it gets worse, like this person said. So, or, you know, they could write a great review about that person and say, oh, you know, we just moved away, we grew apart. You know, you also want to know that kind of information too. So we just want to provide people information because we believe that information is power. And for my situation, that would have helped me. It might have not have stopped me from being in the relationship at all. And we're not trying to stop relationships. That's not our thing. We're not trying to create stigmas. We're trying to give people information to help them, you know, make the best decision for themselves when they're ready to make that decision.
Yeah, because it's just like at the end of the day, you know, you get the knowledge, then you say, okay, I'm gonna use it as a tool, right? I'm either use that tool or I'm gonna leave it in that toolbox. And when it does resonate with me, I will pick up that tool and then I would use it. It's the same kind of concept, right? When you have knowledge, it's up to you to implement it or not implement it. And it's very similar to like what I'm doing, right? I'm educating people, but at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, I'm not here to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
Right? It's just like your app. You're providing the knowledge, you're providing the value. And at the end of the day, you guys take what resonates with that. The same thing I say, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. Because at the end of the day, how I look at it is like, there's too many people out there that are feeling like they know it all, and they're trying to tell people what to do in the relationship. Yeah, you get them from friends, you get them from family members, and I get it. You know, so many people, they have good intentions, but at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to feel how they want, to think how they want, and make their own gosh damn decisions.
Exactly, in their own time. You know, you can't, if I force someone out of a relationship, you know, that's not gonna make my friendship better, you know, a lot of different things, but that you want to give people information so they can make their own decision. That's the thing. Empower people to make their own decision with as much information as they can. And that's exactly what Tracy's doing, which is why this is such a great partnership, because, you know, we're both trying to give people valuable information, and that's our mission.
Yeah, exactly. To help as many people and get, you know, the information out there, and you guys take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, right? At the end of the day, like I said, we all have free will. We're all going to make our, and you know, I love to leave it as this as well, as like healing, like your emotions is your emotions. Only you can know what's good for you through what you're feeling. And this is why, you know, what she's doing when it comes to providing the app for you is, I guess for me in my head, I'm thinking about it, you're cutting out the middleman. You know, like you always have that best friend, or you always have this middle person that it comes between you and your relationship. And you go to that middle person for all your advice. Do you think this is wrong? Do you think this is right? Blah, 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 blah. And they give you, right? This is why for me personally, I don't take advice from nobody. I'm my own advice. I'm my own supercomputer. I'm my own Bible. I'm my own everything. I don't listen to anybody else. I listen to what's inside of me. Do I educate myself? Yes. I educate myself. I take what resonates with me and I leave what doesn't. But when it comes to other people and saying, hey, can you give me advice? Can you tell me what to do? I don't do that. I used to, but not no more. What I learned is that people are going to give you advice the best on their experience. That's what they're going to do. Well, you're going to ask somebody, okay, well, no, I think my boyfriend's cheated on me. Do you think he's cheated on me? He's doing this, that. This person now is going to, your friend or whosoever is going to sit now and not give you the facts. They're going to give you based off of their experience.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, I experienced a guy who did the same damn thing and and I found out he ended up cheating on me. But then your experience, just because there was similar situations, does not mean that your person is cheated on you. So this is what I'm trying to say. When she said that, you know, Isabel said that she's creating this app, I said, you now can take what you think you're going through Go on this app, see the patterns, and make that decision on yourself without taking somebody else's advice coming to tell you, okay, well, this was, this happened. Take what resonates with you, leave what. Now, for the people out there that do like for somebody to tell them, their experience, then you have that option on the app as well to go do that instead of somebody who knows you. Because sometimes it's better to talk to an outsider and talk to an insider, because the insider person is always going to tell you, yeah, based off of sometimes what you want to hear and not what you need to hear, because they don't want to feelings, they don't want to do this or whatever. So on her app too, you have people who've experienced similar situations, but you guys don't have no relations. So there's not going to be like that person from hesitating, hearing their story, going to hesitate to tell you what the facts are, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. So what we want to do is, connect people who, are looking for information on their partner or their potential partner. The other thing is we want to create a community of people who support each other, who are going through different difficult situations or great situations in relationships, because, there are billions of people on this planet. There are billions of different relationships. And sometimes, your little tight-knit family and friend community might not be going through the same thing you are. And that's the power of, social media, is that you can find people going through similar things. Maybe it's not with the same person, but it's similar things. And that can serve to help people. Just knowing that you're not alone in that situation, that's also a really powerful tool.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to do. And our goal at the end of the day is, if we can save one person from a toxic, narcissistic, or abusive relationship, that's our mission. And we'll be happy. We can go to bed, sleep well at night for that. So that's our.
Just to know that hey, I provided you guys with the knowledge. You guys see other people's, stories or whatever the case may be. And there you go. Like, you'll be able to go somewhere that outside point of view, right? Because like I said, sometimes, it's not always good to go to a friend or go to a family member and get advice or talk to this about your relationship, because again, sometimes it could be biased. Sometimes it could be like, again, they love you, they care about you, they don't want to really hurt your feelings, they're not going to tell you the facts. So I'm really hoping, you guys, that with Isabella's app and stuff, you guys can go to it and then figure out for you, what resonates with you, what doesn't resonate with you, what can you learn from this, whatever. Because again, like we're trying to tell you guys, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
The more and more we're growing and we're elevating, we're gonna try to provide with you guys as much value and knowledge as possible. And like Isabel said, even if we help out there who's watching this, one person, that's all we can do. One person a day, that's all we can do. That's exactly what we're trying to do, is help as many people out there, with just different relationship situations. Like I said, I'm more knowledgeable on the narcissistic abusive relationship. Isabella has her tools in helping people with toxic relationships, you know what I mean? And then you, from seeing the toxic pattern, then you could say, is this a narcissistic person or is this just an abusive person, right? So the tools are there, you guys. We're just trying to provide you guys, again, with as much information as possible for you guys to take the knowledge and then actually implement it, do something with it, right? So that being said, you guys, I'm so glad, Isabel, thank you so much for being on this video. Is there anything else that you feel that you want to leave with, the viewers, to maybe give them some tips based off of your experience, on what they can do to feel comfortable to maybe sit in after this video and think about, to get them to make the move to, let's say, I'm going to go check out some resources? Because I know sometimes we can listen to things and then really not make a move on it. Is there any tips you can give the people out there that, let's say, there's somebody out there who experienced a toxic relationship or is in a toxic relationship like yours, where they being controlling and looking through their phone and all? Is there any tips and you can give them based off of your experience, what they can potentially do, or think about if they're in that situation?
So I think the first thing to do, well, first off, make sure you're safe physically. If you're not safe, there are tons of resources out there shelters, there's hotlines, there's things you can go to. If you do not feel physically safe, get out. Safety is first. That's number one. Number two is just know that you are not alone. There are people going through the same thing as you. You might not know them. You might not see them day to day. And even if you don't see them day to day, someone in the grocery store you're passing might be going through something similar. They just might not be, having a banner on their face saying, this is what I'm going through, because we keep things a lot bottled up inside. And that's what this app, Exfacts, on the App Store is seeking to do. We want to connect people with other people who have been with their partner before, to give them tools, because we are not randomly programmed robots. People have patterns. If your person you're dating right now is doing something, chances are he's done it before. Chances are he's done it before.
Very
It will
true.
lead to this, it will lead to that. People change, that's true, but people also are creatures of habit, creatures of patterns. So learning from that can be a useful tool. Connecting with people in a community is a tool to give you information about how people are dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with right now. And understanding something that I haven't gotten into much about this app is that we want to help also people just with some self-reflection tools for themselves. So when you enter an assessment on a relationship you've had in the past, all this information goes and it creates a unique report that tells you, okay, here are the red flags you're going through right now in your relationship. Here are the things that are good in your relationship. This is your compatibility based on all these different metrics, so that you have the information. So you've just entered this report. You have this information that you can say, red flag, red flag. Oh, great. And you can say, and you can take a quick assessment of the health of your relationship right there. Another thing is, so say you've been through multiple relationships and say you think, oh, all of them are so different. They're all great people, or they're all sucky people. And you think, oh, the commonality is me, and then you enter in this assessment on each of these people and you can say, oh, I always date people who are like this. I always tend to date controlling people. Just knowing that information
Will
is
help you
powerful.
so much.
Exactly. So we want to help you identify patterns that you're making. We are not trying to tell you what to do. We're trying to give you the information, the tools. We're also trying to link you up with professionals like Tracy, and who's a specialist in narcissistic abusive relationships, to give you the information at the tip of your fingertips. So, when you're looking at this, when you're ready, you have people to go to help you, whether it's people who are just going through the same thing or people like Tracy who are experts in the narcissistic abusive relationship space. So,
and see, this is what I'm saying, you guys. The app is going to be powerful to allow you to say, what are the right questions that I need to be looking into? What are the right questions that I need to be asking myself? What are the red flags within myself, not just the relationship, with myself, that I need to look into? Do I need help? Is it narcissistic? Is it toxic? And then there you go. Tip of the fingers, you have the resources. So you guys, it sounds like an amazing app. Isabel, thank you so much for finding the courage to come on here and talk about what it is that you experience when it comes to a toxic relationship, and then finding the strength and the courage to now get out there to want to help other people. Like, to me, that's admirable. I just think that's amazing, to take what you went through to now try to again wise up and rise up inside of your life to inspire, motivate, and help other individuals who've experienced toxic relationships, right? Or are even in a toxic relationship. So with that being said, you guys, again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate the love, the support. And again, if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys found value, please give it a thumbs up. Again, what that does is help the algorithm to get this message that so many people, I personally believe, need to hear this video, to find these resources, to hear these stories, like what Isabel said, what I said, you know, to know, like she said, that you guys are not alone out there. So with that being said, before I wrap it up, Isabel, do you want to just drop where everybody can go and find you, where they can find the app and etc. before we wrap things up?
Okay, so everyone, if you like the idea of the app, please, if you have an iPhone, download the app. It's called Exfacts, EXFACTS, on the App Store. It's available for download right now, and let us know what you think of it, because we're always trying to make it the best app it can be. If you want to search for the app on social media, it's Exfacts Official on Instagram and TikTok, and it's Exfacts on Facebook. And that's where you can find it. For me, my name on Facebook and Instagram is Izzy Faye. So that's where you can find us.
Awesome. And then on top of that, you know, I'm going to leave all her information in the comments below of this video, so you guys can all go, you know, check it out in the comments. If you forget it, you didn't write it down from the video, not a problem. You'll get it in the comments. And you guys, make sure that you guys are joining the Wise Up, Rise Up community to wise up and rise up from these narcissists. If you do believe that you are experiencing narcissistic abuse, join the community today. I have my amazing TikTok channel that I drop 3 to 2 videos every day, leaving you great content to understand and break it down. If you're going through narcissistic abuse, how you can heal from it, how you can grow from it, how you can recover from it. Then I also have my amazing podcast, you guys, called the Wise Up, Rise Up NARC. Different content on there comparison to what I have on YouTube. You can go check that out. It's on Anchor, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Play. And then you could go check out my Instagram as well. It's Wise Up, Rise Up NARC. And obviously you guys are here at my YouTube, so you guys know where to catch me on YouTube. I really, really appreciate you know, all you guys supporting me, and let's get out there and wise up and rise up inside of our life to better our experiences in life, better our life, and potentially, who knows, inspire somebody else out there by sharing what you're learning with other people out there. Thanks again for tuning in this video, you guys, and I'll catch you guys again on another video. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.